Your past is a gift. Now, there's something I wanted to share with you that happened to me. Sorry, I keep forgetting that it's not on that side anymore. Something that happened to me about 10 years ago now, and I thought it was so important. You know those moments in your life when they change the way you look at things, your whole perception of it. So, my husband at the time was working in an office and they needed someone to fill in while one of the girls was away for a couple of weeks on holiday. And so I offered to come in. It was just reception duties, answering phones or just office jobs like filing stuff, doing some banking, all the simple things, that I could easily do. I didn't need to be trained for them. But I remember that one day, funny enough, I was only there for 2 weeks, but one day I had my periods and I was so sick that day that I was even vomiting, right? And I was starting to go really pale and I had a massive migraine and I just felt so unwell. And I remember I was sitting at the desk and I was saying to one of the girls, I really need to go home. I'm so sorry, but I just can't stay. I'm just so ill, I can't stay. And she said to me, I'll take you home. And I was like, no, I'll catch the bus. The bus is just there. I'll just go find out what time it comes. I'll catch the bus. I don't want to interrupt your work. Just leave it. I'll just find my own way home. I'm only up the road. I'm not that far away. And she insisted, right? No, I'll take you home. Anyway, it went on for about 10 minutes. And then she came and sat opposite the desk, right? She pulled up a chair opposite me and plonked her face right in front of mine. And she said to me, if I was sick, would you not take me home? And I remember sitting there going, of course I would. I would be offering to take you home and I would be insisting on taking you home, if you were sick. And she said, how's it different? And from that, it's funny, it was such a simple thing. But from that moment on, I always ask myself, wouldn't I do it for that person? When people offer you help in some way, because some of the previous videos were talking about how we don't want to need other people. We feel that we're strong if we can do everything for ourselves, if we don't need others. But that's not the reason we're here. We're not here to be independent and strong and not need anyone and live a life of solitude of, I don't need anyone. I can live by myself. I can take care of myself. We're not here for that. We're here to connect. And so in every moment now, when someone offers to help in a way, I always think to myself, I would do that for that person. I wouldn't hesitate to do that for someone else. So if it makes you feel good to do something for someone else, why not allow someone else to feel good doing it for you? And I know it comes from a place of unworthiness or you don't feel that you deserve that kindness. But you do. We all do. So today I'd like you to think about that. How many things do other people do for us that make us feel uncomfortable? Do you have friends that might shout you to a cup of coffee and you just feel like you have to pay for your share? You can't just accept it. Or you feel like, next time it'll be my turn. I have to pay for the next one. You can't just accept it and be grateful that they want to do that for you. How many of us? Because I know for the longest time I was really uncomfortable with that. If someone bought me a cup of coffee or they bought me lunch or anything like that, I always felt like I had to give it back. I had to reciprocate. I couldn't just accept it as a gift and say thank you and move on with it. I always felt that I needed to give it back to that person in the same way. So today I'd like you to think about yourself. Are you comfortable when others do things for you? Are you comfortable accepting it and just saying thank you for that? Or do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel unworthy of that kind gesture? Do you feel that you have to pay them back? Why are you not worthy of someone buying you a cup of coffee? Or buying you a lunch, shouting you to a nice lunch? Why can't they do that for you and you just feel, thank you. That was so nice of you to do that. You didn't have to, but thank you. they wanted to. It made them feel good to do that for you. And yet so many of us will fight against it. No, I have to pay my share. No, we'll go halves. We'll go this, we'll go that. We make this huge fuss about it. We can't just say, thank you. I'm happy with that. Because you would do it for someone else. And that's what it comes down to. You have to always think to yourself, would you do this kindness for someone else? Then why not allow them to do the kindness for you? Simple things. It's funny, as you go through life, it's the simple things that stay with you. It's not the big events, it's not the huge moments, it's the little things. Because honestly, one of the things that changed my life completely was the moment my husband said to me, "You're still looking at your mum like you're 5." We were just having a conversation in the living room. Can't remember what we were talking about, but I must have been going off about something in anger. And that's what he said to me. And that one moment completely shifted my whole perception of everything. That whole moment was what created this book. It got me sitting down and writing it all down. Looking for answers. Where are these answers? I need answers. And that's where it all started. So I'd like you to go through your life today and look at all the simple events, the simple things that people have said to you or they've done for you. Usually it's something a person has said. It's such a simple thing, but it makes you really think about who you are being in this moment. It's so important. But it's funny that it's in all the simple moments, not in the grandest of moments, not, in a wedding day. Yeah, my wedding day was beautiful, but I can't remember any moment in my wedding day that was like life-changing. That it totally shifted my perception about something. It was just a beautiful day. We shared in this moment, we gave each other our love, and we knew we were best friends, and we wanted to share the rest of our lives together. And we're happy with that. It was a beautiful day, and it was a beautiful moment. But nothing in that day was life-changing for me. So, my daughter was born, and the same thing. My daughter was born and I was terrified. I was bringing this little human being home, and I, was in charge of its life. I was in charge of keeping her safe, of keeping her protected, making sure she grows up well, and healthy and into a beautiful human being. I was terrified. I had no knowledge of how to do this. I wasn't surrounded by babies my whole life to know what to do with a newborn baby. So that in itself was not a life-changing moment either. It was just this moment of incredible love. Again, my day was full of love that I've never felt before. Like my heart was overflowing. The same as my wedding day. It was like my heart was overflowing with this love. And it was just pouring out, and I couldn't stop it. That's what those 2 days were for. Me to be able to tap into what my heart was created for, this love. But they weren't moments that I can say they defined. They changed my perception. They changed everything about how I view the world. Because the moment with my daughter was about 2 years after her birth, where I realized I am still angry. Why am I still angry? Why has my life not completely changed and shifted? And why am I not in bliss and joy and peace all the time? Which is what I thought was going to happen when she was born. So even though in that day, in that moment, I was overwhelmed with love, tears are flowing, and it feels like it's never going to stop pouring out. All this love you didn't even know you had. It's only happened to me twice. It was on my wedding day, and it was on the day she was born, where you just feel like, oh God, there's so much love. I don't know what to do with it all. Just let it go, let it go. Let it all pour out. I think on those 2 days I knew that the love has no limit. I love you guys. So remember to click like and subscribe below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.